This is the St. Paul's Cathedral. I'm going to scan through here. Here's one of the nuns going in to check out St. Paul's and give us a nice view of the cathedral here. This is a shot of John Wesley. John Wesley Hardin was a Civil War character. I don't really remember what he did.
So while we're paused here, just to tell you a little bit about the history of St. Paul's Cathedral. This is the fifth cathedral, the fifth church to stand on this site.
This is the fifth church on this site, Carol is saying.
It's an iconic, I hate that expression, but it is an iconic symbol of London. Now, we've stopped by the pedestal here, which actually has the words of Sir Winston Churchill inscribed in them, because during the Second World War there was a great fear that St. Paul's would be targeted, especially during the Blitz. And so the order went out from Churchill that at all costs, and Eisenhower offered money for to help with the reconstruction of that section of the cathedral. Well, his very kind and generous offer was turned down, but when it was rebuilt as the American Memorial Chapel. So who travelled through this country on their way into Europe. So they were either stationed here or they travelled through at some stage on their way into mainland Europe.
28,000 American names inside.
And equally interestingly, everything around it is going up in smoke, but the dome of St. Paul's rises above. And that's how people think of it.
Yes, right in the war.
Another little... Because other churches, cathedrals, have changed from Roman Catholicism to the Anglican faith, back again and back again. But this has always been an Anglican cathedral. And I understand it was the first. Another thing is, and this is...
9:30. Well, here's a shot from the top of St. Paul's, which is situated on the highest hill in London, and that is one of the highest points in London. That it was for hundreds of years. We're up on top of a building across from St. Paul's, and you get a great skyline view of London. There's we have all these nicknames, the back of Gherkin and the grater, potato grater, and various towers coming around. There's the eye, somewhere, where is it? Anyway, there's St. Paul's. I think I'll focus on the eye later. There's the eye, I finally found it. There's a lot of glare up here today. Of course, the sun is sort of behind me. London skyline.
Because I'm taller than you are.
Book is organizing this picture for Carol. Let her see herself like this.
The Duke of Westminster, for example, the richest Briton alive thought to be, it no longer will guarantee service on the right-hand side, and the red brick buildings next right again. These are all extensions to Parliament. They've expanded, and there's a tunnel under the road from Parliament Shore Building beyond, so that the staff working here, members of Parliament, etc., they can gain access between the two very, very quickly. Now, the Houses of Parliament were built on the site of the Palace and the Lords on his first visit as President to Great Britain, just a few years. There's about 4 or 5 remaining parts of the original palace of Westminster. It has a very impressive hammer beam roof. It's where people like Thomas More, Charles I were all Houses of Parliament were built. Now, essentially, the Houses of Parliament building is dozens of offices,
Westminster Station,
miles and miles of corridors, several courtyards. We're here facing what's now known as the Elizabeth Tower. Originally it was the Stephen's Tower. Nelson Mandela was due to be placed in Trafalgar Square next to another Nelson. But eventually...
It's the horse guards here. Horses may bite. Be careful.
Where are we looking? Yes, these are the police forces in front of us. And straight ahead of us, of course, we're looking at Horatio Nelson on top of his column in the middle of Trafalgar Square. The horse is getting a bit lively there.
That horse is really bucking. Look at him go.
He was restored.
Loves the flowers they have all over London.
And somebody came across the statue of Charles I there. Someone had kept it hidden away. And they put it in place on Trafalgar Square. And of course, he never really lived here, but Henry VIII was the monarch, of course, with the 6 wives, and who broke with the Church of Rome. He also moved the main seat, the main residence of the monarch, from the Palace of Westminster, where the Houses of Parliament, just come in everybody, where the Houses of Parliament now stand. He moved up the street to Whitehall, a new palace built, although he tended to live mainly at Whitehall Palace. St James's Palace, this is where things start to get ridiculously confusing. Now, from the French croquet type game.
French croquet game called P-A-I-L-L-E-M-A-I-L-E. Pêle-mêle, like a croquet game by the French.
St James's Palace is on our right. This building is the Queen's Chapel.
St. James Palace, the Queen's Chapel. Looking through the doorway into the Queen's Palace, Queen's Church. This is the entrance to St. James Palace. There's a bunch of people waiting to go in, and there's 3 machine gun armed guards in front of it. And across the street is this mob of people waiting for something to happen. I don't know what they're waiting to happen. Yeah, there were some horse guards here. They're starting to move out, and there's a lady with a yellow hat, all dressed in yellow, and there go the horses down towards St. James Palace.
The Guard, which is a daily event. It's absolute mayhem. It's full of people who haven't a clue where they are, what they're seeing, where they need to go. Total confusion.
Well, the guards are going to be changed in a few minutes.
So in a
couple of minutes it all starts. And here's the chief guard here, waiting.
The guards,
and right across the street from Buckingham Palace. There is Buckingham Palace in all its glory.
Horse guards. So it's the Grenadiers, the Coldstream, the Welsh, Scots and Irish Guards that take part in this daily tradition, which began with Charles II. And it began because he had a custom of going around everywhere accompanied by a body of guards. That's basically what happened. 4 hours without a break. They are alternators. But that's what's happening. So any second now, they'll come out of the gate there and they'll march through.
Switching guns, cute. Some horse police. They come out of the gate just where I'm pointing now.
That's the old guard from St James's Palace coming into the palace. How many people? Not very many actually. The band in this case.
Here is a beauty. Beautiful black horse with a white tail, white stripes on the tail. The new guard will be coming down the street in a few minutes. The police are leading the band. Here comes the band. Look at the stuff on this guy here. With their weapons, machine guns. Look at how they swing their arms up. Second guy is the tallest of the group. He's probably 6'8". Some young guys in there that aren't swinging their arms very well to get that guy in order. That's it, folks.
If you're looking at Somerset House as we cross
There's the big
Waterloo
eye,
Bridge,
there's
Somerset House ahead of
another
us
view
on the
of Big
right.
Ben.